Welcome to Columbus, Georgia. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Can you smell it? Can you feel it in the atmosphere? Your Georgia Firebirds are getting set to play their first ever arena football game in the AIF, facing a familiar foe to Albany, the Columbus Lions. I'm excited as we have a special Sunday game, a Sunday afternoon matinee. The arena here in Columbus is filling up. I appreciate everybody who is joining us here, enjoying this broadcast. This is a special complimentary package, and we want to thank everyone in the Firebirds organization who has made this possible. Your Firebirds, led by head coach DJ Daniels, in their first ever game. If you saw the exhibition game, you were in for a thrill. Tonight, or this afternoon rather, it's going to be pure rock'em sock'em excitement. I'm looking forward to bringing you this game. I'm your host, Eric Tabor. G-Big Productions is bringing you this broadcast, and we hope you will enjoy. We're going to take a quick pause for the cause as you're enjoying Firebirds football on the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back to the Columbus Municipal Auditorium or the Columbus Civic Center. Eric Tabor bringing you all of the play-by-play action of your Georgia Firebirds. We're just moments away from the inaugural kickoff as we have the coin toss going on right now in the middle of the field. And it looks like your Firebirds have won the toss and have elected to defer until the second half. So far this season is going according to plan. The Firebirds will be kicking to the Lions to start off the 2016 season for your Georgia Firebirds. I am excited right now as arena football is about to officially begin once again in the city of Albany, Georgia. Again, I'm your host, Eric Tabor, and want to remind everybody coming up in the broadcast at halftime, the managing partner and general manager for your Firebirds, Terrence Fowler, will be joining us, and we're going to have a special Ask the GM segment. So if you can get some questions in right now on the Firebirds Facebook page or the Twitter feed, we will be more than happy to ask those questions for you. As the officials are getting set, as well as your Firebirds, we are almost ready for some exciting arena football. The Panthers are getting ready to kick. And we've got a whistle. Set to kick is going to be Chad Spencer for the Panthers. Here comes the run-up. The kick, high end over end. It's going to be returnable. Caught back deep by number 1, John Harris, who makes a move to the 10 to the 15 and is going to be knocked out of bounds. Number 23, Trevon Bridges for your Firebirds with the tackle. It's going to bring up a first down and 10 for your Firebirds. Spot the ball on the 17-yard line. The heart and soul of this Firebirds defense is going to be number 1, Zach Brown, your middle linebacker, as you're going to see him playing multiple positions today. Kobe drops back, waits, looks, he's going to go for it all. He's got Harris open, just too tall, incomplete. On the coverage was number 2, Chavis Jackson. For all of you Albany State Golden Ram fans, he's a former Ram, now playing with the Firebirds on the coverage. As John Harris, if those of you who remember him from the days of the Albany Panthers, was open for a second, but the pass was just too tall. Casey once again drops back, waits, looks. He's going to throw, finds number 18 underneath. He's about to break a tackle, but does not, and is driven into the stands. Number 8, Antonio Bearden on the coverage. But it's good enough for a Lions first down. Ball spotted inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line, first and goal. Bearden did a great job there in preventing a touchdown. Casey, once again, calling out the signals. The high motion man is going to be number 18. He drops back, tries to pump fake the quick screen, but we got a flag right there. We're going to have a penalty. Looks like it's going to be against the Lions, but we'll have to wait and see. The Lions are pointing to the Firebirds. So let's wait and see what the official call is. The officials are still discussing it. And they call holding on offense number 24. They're going to call Carl Williams for the hold. Carl Williams, the jack linebacker for your Georgia Firebirds, called with the hold, giving the Lions an automatic 1st and 10, spotting the ball at the 4-yard line. Let's see what Coach Daniels can dig in and get a stop here, as they're going to give it to the fullback, Vic, number 55. He rumbles and is met by the interior of that defense, led by number 1, Zach Brown. And if those of you on the carry was number 55, Aaron Wheeler, as you watch the replay here, as that Firebirds defense shows its authority, not willing to give up the run. Gain of about a half-yard on the play. Number 12 for the Lions, calling out the signals once again. High motion man's going to be number 6. Here's the snap. He drops back. He waits. He looks. He's going to throw it into the end zone. His fumble on the play. The Firebirds recover. The Firebirds recover. Your Firebirds come up with a huge defensive stop. Number 44 for the Firebirds, Anthony Brooks, comes up with the play. Number 8 with the tackle, jarring the ball loose, Antonio Bearden. And number 44, Johnny on the spot, Anthony Brooks with the fumble recovery. 1st and 10 for the Firebirds, the first defensive stop of the season. We're going to hold the phones. We've got a flag back at the 6-7 yard line. So let's wait and see what the officials are going to call here. They're going to call Coach DJ Daniels for an unsportsmanlike conduct. Interesting call. And Coach Daniels is not a happy camper right now. He is letting the official know he is not happy. But the Panthers defense stands tall on the first series. Number 72, DeAndre Williams, declares as a tight end for the Panthers. Starting quarterback is going to be number 16, Marcus Brooks. He's under center. High motion man is going to be number 3, Anton Frost. He drops back. He's under pressure in the end zone. He's going to go down almost immediately. Larry Edwards leading the way for the Lions, giving the Lions a 2-point cushion. The Firebirds, tough break here as they come up early with a big defensive stop, but Larry Edwards comes through and makes a sack, and the Lions are on the scoreboard, now lead 2-0. We've got 12:33 to go in the first quarter. A great contest so far, but the Firebirds are just a little short right now. Trailing 2-0, the defense early on got a stop to start the season. And Larry Edwards, one of the things that the coaches talked about with me in the pregame, that they were concerned with Larry and his bull rush, as most of you in Albany have been familiar with when he was with the Panthers and formerly with the Wildcats. But a tough break here for your Georgia Firebirds as we are getting set now to start once again. Spencer set to kick it off. Back deep again for the Lions is going to be number 1, John Harris. Here's the run-up. The kick high end over end. Harris goes into the corner of the end zone. He's going to take it off the wall, yard line. And it wants an explanation as the ball went out of the corner of the end zone. Turned by Golston. As now this Firebirds offense has got to find an answer here. They've only had one play, but have given up 2 points. And the big question is going to be, and that was one of the question marks coming into this game, was going to be how this offensive line would fare against this Lions defensive front four. Number 72, DeAndre Barber declares as the tight end. Frost, the high motion man, here's the snap. Drops back, waits, looks, throws, pass is complete, and immediately goes down. That pass was complete to number 0, Isaiah Jupiter, his first catch of the 2016 regular season. As you watch the replay right here, he goes right to where the open man was. He gets rid of the ball, and one of the issues has been with the Firebirds, and you've got a young quarterback, and we just needed to know how well he would fare. Brooks under center. Here's the snap. Brooks under pressure. He lost the football. It is recovered by the Firebirds. Ontario Martin recovered the fumble, but that brings up a third down for your Firebirds, and it's going to be a tough road to hoe as you're in enemy territory deep in Columbus, Georgia. Clock running with 9:20 to go in the first period. Brown calling out the signal. High motion man is going to be, and Larry Edwards just comes through untouched, but we're going to get a flag as Larry Edwards is probably going to be called for an illegal defense as he started forward before the snap of the football, which is illegal in indoor football, but let's wait and see what the official call is. They're going to call Rashad Golston for a false start, as apparently he must have jumped the line of scrimmage or crossed the line of scrimmage before the snap. Tough break here for the Firebirds. It's going to bring up a third down and about 8. And let's hope that the Firebirds can find an answer here. With the penalty, the ball will be spotted back at the 4-yard line. Bring up a third, should be third and 13. The down marker, they've corrected the down marker. Brown once again under center. High motion man is going to be Golston coming into circle motion. The umpire is going to stop play. They're saying reset the 25-second clock. Brooks once again under center. High motion man is going to be Golston coming into circle motion into a trips formation. Here's the snap, and they're going to give it to the big fullback who makes a move, and that's number 38, Ontario Martin, on the carry as he pops one and picks up a nice gain, bringing up a 4th down and about 4 for the Firebirds. And it looks like Coach Daniels is going to attempt a field goal. That's going to be a 52-yard field goal attempt for your Firebirds. Here's the snap, the place down, the kick is up, almost blocked, but this is returnable. Back deep is going to be number 2, Marshall, and he makes a move, gets away, but is brought down. This Firebird defense and this Firebird special teams in this situation did an excellent job with 7:41 to go. The Lions are pinned back in their own territory. They're going to spot the ball on the 11-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Lions. Let's see if your Firebirds can find a solution here. And the defense, we've got a media timeout. So in that situation, in this situation, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back in about 30 seconds as you're enjoying Firebird football on the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back to the Columbus Civic Center as your Georgia Firebirds are taking on the Columbus Lions. We are live here at the Columbus Civic Center in Columbus, Georgia. The Lions lead the Firebirds 8-0. High motion man, looks like it's going to be John Harris. Case drops back, waits, looks, throws over the top, and pass is, they're going to rule it. No catches. The ball hit the ground. The player used the turf. As you watch here on the replay, Case drops back, waits, looks. He sees his man clear over the tight end. He throws. He makes the catch, but tries to use the ground to trap the football. Great call by the official. Incomplete pass. Second down for the Lions. 6:54 to go in the first quarter. Case once again calling out the signal. The high motion man is going to be John. Case, and we're going to have a hold as he's going to go deep. He's got John Harris open, and Harris goes in for the touchdown. Antonio Bearden was in on the coverage, but John Harris made a move and got 2 steps. And in professional football, all you need is 1 step, and you are beaten. So a tough break for your Firebirds as Columbus goes up now 14-0. 6:07 to go in the first quarter. Case on to over the PAT. Here's the snap. The place down. The kick looks up. It looks good. And it is. Your new score, Columbus 15, Georgia 0. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast, and once again, we would like to apologize for some of the technical difficulties. We are working with the event staff here in Columbus, Georgia, to resolve them as we speak. So just hang in there with us. Hopefully we can get it resolved for you. The Lions lead your Firebirds 15-0, 5:56 to go in the first period. Both teams have their full complement of timeouts. But your Firebirds right now need to find some sort of spark to get this team started, as right now they trail by 3 scores. Here's the kick for the Firebirds. It's up high, end over end. Ball is taken by number 13. And that's Golston once again on the return. Golston returns it out to the 12, 13-yard line. Spot the ball on the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 for your Firebirds. Let's hope that Coach Daniels can find something to get your Firebirds started here so we can get on the board and cut into this lead and get back in this contest. Brooks in at quarterback, the high motion man, and they're going to call your Firebirds for a delay of game, and that's a tough break coming out of a special teams play. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty assessed against your Firebirds. And that's sometimes that happens with a team that is young, trying to get that play call. Brooks, once again, coming under center. Frost, the high motion man, here's the snap. And it looks like a sack is once again, if you watch the replay, and Larry Edwards comes in, it looks like they're having a problem with the quarterback-center exchange. And that's one of the basic things, but once again, this is a young Firebirds team. This organization, granted, it's been in existence for a few years. This is their first full year in indoor football. Brooks, once again, high motion man is Frost. Here's the snap. Brooks under pressure, waits, pump fakes, throws. Pass is going to be caught. Great reception. Give it to number 13, Rashad Golston. In the area, we had two Firebirds. Number 23, if you watch the replay, great Houdini job by Brooks as he throws the ball down the field, only where his guy could get it. And Rashad Golston shows you why he was a wide receiver at Florida State University. Brooks once again under center. High motion man's going to be Frost. Here's the snap. Brooks loses the football once again, but they're going to say the Firebirds, or are they going to? They're going to say it's the Lions. Another tough break for your Firebirds, as it looks like the center and the quarterback are having some issues getting the snap, and Coach Daniels is going out to talk to his young quarterback, and now it puts the defense in a huge hole. Let's just hope that Zach Brown and company can dig in here and get another stop. They've already had one stop tonight, or this afternoon rather, 3:01 remaining in the first quarter. Case calling out the signals. Here's the snap. He drops back, waits, looks. He's going to throw. Almost intercepted, but a great job as the entire front of your Firebirds comes over to clean up the play. A great job by the corner in this situation, coming up with a huge play. He went for the pick six. He couldn't quite get there, but he was heady enough that he didn't get there, but he was heady enough to make the play to prevent additional yardage. 2:19 to go in the quarter. Here's the snap. Case drops back, waits, looks. He's under some duress, throws in the back of the end zone. It's going to be caught. And give that to Jamon Fortson with the touchdown reception. Fortson, if you watch the replay, Case pump fakes, looks, sees Fortson clearing across the middle, throws deep. Fortson had a step. And it's going to be a touchdown for the Lions. A tough break for your Firebirds. The PAT by number 24, Tyler McMahon, is up and good. Now with 1:21 remaining, your new score, Columbus 22, Georgia 0. We're going to take a pause for the cause as you're enjoying Georgia Firebird football on the Firebirds Digital Network. And welcome back to the Columbus Civic Center as your Firebirds have a little bit of a hole here to dig themselves out of. Here's the kick going over the goalpost, and we've got a little bit of fisticuffs in the middle of the field between, looks like Larry Edwards and a couple of the Firebirds. But it's going to be interesting here where the officials spot this football. Looks like they're going to bring it out to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for your Firebirds. And this is the best field position they have had all day. And let's hope that they can take advantage here. Play clock down to 11 seconds. Brooks needs to hurry. Play clock at 7. High motion man is Jupiter. Here's the snap. They're going to give it to the big fullback, and he's met immediately in the hole by Larry Edwards. Loss of about a yard on the play. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 11. As the Firebirds tried to sneak it into the fullback that play and couldn't quite get free. 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Brooks under center. Play clock down to 10. Jupiter in high motion. Here's the snap. Drops back, waits, looks, throws across the middle. Oh, just a little bit behind Trevor Bridges. He was the intended receiver. Bringing up a 3rd down for your Firebirds, and this is going to probably, this pass play is going to probably be the last one before we start the 2nd stanza of this contest. And there's the horn to end the first quarter. The score, Columbus 22, the Georgia Firebirds 0. We're going to take a pause for the cause as you're enjoying arena football, AIF football on the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back to the Columbus Civic Center as your Georgia Firebirds trail the Columbus Lions by a score of 22-0. Looking at the first quarter stats, hasn't been that great as the Firebirds have only mustered 11 yards of total offense to the Lions' 118. Brooks once again under center. High motion man's going to be Jupiter coming into the trips formation. Here's the snap. Screen pass complete to Golston. Golston makes a move and gets out into Lions territory at about the 22-yard line. First, it's going to bring up a second down. Well, I stand corrected. That should bring up a fourth down for your Firebirds. 4:40 to go in the second quarter. And we are waiting with bated breath as Brooks calling out the signals. Here's the snap. We might get a penalty. Brooks is going to get a hold against the Firebirds. And I believe that they're going to decline the penalty since they did not result in a first down, but we're going to wait and see. As Coach Daniels is wanting an explanation from the officials as far as the holding call, but those flags came from everywhere. A tough break for your Firebirds, trailing 22-0. As the defense and Zach Brown for the Firebirds need to find a way to dig in here and create a turnover and possibly a touchdown, as the defensive backs have been going for the INT but have just been just a hair late. Case once again under center. And we're going to have we're going to have a delay of game. Columbus does get the timeout. That'll be their first charge timeout, taking them down to 2. And it's kind of tough here as you've got your play clock and it starts immediately after the turnover or the change of possession, so you've got to hurry up, get a play called, and get set. .53 to go in the half. Lions up by 22. Your Firebirds defense needs to do something to dig in here and get a stop. Case drops back, waits, looks, throws over the top. He's going for 6 in a great move to cut off that route by number 2, Chavis Jackson. He cut off the route for number 13 for the Lions, making this a second down and 10. Spot the ball right at the midfield stripe. Case once again under center. And that was a good move as your Firebirds defense is trying to take away the high motion man, and it looked like the center field safety did not slide over to make the play, but that's going to bring up a third down and about 4. 12:45 to go in the half. Case once again under center. Here's a snap. Case drops back, waits, looks, throws, passes into the end zone, complete to number 18, Michael Reeve, as the Firebird defense again. If you watch here as Case drops back, he throws and your Firebirds defense tries to make a play but couldn't quite get there as Reeves makes the reception and puts the Lions up 28-0 with 12 minutes to go in the half. The extra point attempt by Tyler McMahon goes up. And it looks good, but the officials are conferring. And again, Firebirds fans, we do apologize about some of the technical issues as we're working with the Event Center staff here in Columbus to get those issues resolved for you so that this will be a more enjoyable experience. As we're getting set with 11:53 to go in the second quarter, it is 28-0. Your Firebirds trail. We can just say Brooks and company need to get us back in this ball game with a quick strike touchdown. Here's the kick. And it's going to be returnable. Golston tries to make a move, but couldn't quite get there. Gets it back out to the 10-yard line. Tackle made by Byron Dickerson for the Lions, but it's now a 1st and 10 for the Georgia Firebirds. Once again, I'd like to thank all of the sponsors who are making this broadcast possible for the Georgia Firebirds. If you like things like this, it's easy to jump on our Facebook page and let us know what you think. Jump on our Twitter feed. Let us know what you think. Brooks, once again under center. High motion man's going to be Frost. Here's the snap. Brooks drops back, waits, looks. He's under some pressure, throws, and almost intercepted. Damian Nighthawk Daniels almost gets the interception as Frost cut across. Had we had just a second more to throw the football, as you watch right there, he was hit just as he released the football, and the ball falls down incomplete. It's just been one of those days so far for your Firebirds. Bearden, and we've got a stoppage in play. They're saying reset the 25-second clock. And here we go. 10:40 to go in the half. Your Firebirds trail the Lions by 4 touchdowns. Play clock down to 10. Here's the snap. Brooks under pressure is going to be met and brought down by Larry Edwards and Logan Engel. They mitted the quarterback, generating a 3rd down and long. Spot the ball back at the 5-yard line. As you watch the replay, you saw Larry Edwards is really raking some havoc with the Firebirds offensive line today. We've got to find a cure, and maybe they can talk about it at halftime and figure it out. Brooks, once again under center. High motion man is going to be Frost. Here's the snap. Brooks drops back, waits, looks. He's going to roll. He's under pressure. Ball goes into the stands. Incomplete, but the officials, I'm wondering, are they going to rule it a fumble or an incomplete pass? But Coach Daniels is calling for the field goal unit. And on comes the field goal unit for your Firebirds. Chad Spencer going to attempt a 60, looks like about a 60-yard field goal. Back deep for the Lions is going to be number 2, Roshan Marshall. Here's the snap, the place down. Kick is up, and he gets it away. Ball's going to bounce to about the 5. It's going to be returned. Marshall, he's to the 10, to the 15, makes a move. Is going to be held up by some Firebirds and eventually brought down. Watch the replay here as Marshall tries to make a move and is going to be caught right there by number 44 for your Firebirds, and it slows him down enough for the rest of the unit to catch up. Great special teams. As you know, or if you don't know, in arena football, there is no punting. You can only attempt field goals, and that's what happened here. The Firebirds attempted a field goal. It was short, and all field goal attempts are returnable. Let's see if the Firebirds can get some heat on Case. Here's the snap. Case drops back. He's under some pressure. He passes complete to Aaron Wheeler, and Aaron Wheeler just bowls over people. And Chavis Jackson took a shot trying to get him up, and he was slow getting up on the play. But Aaron Wheeler, a former Albany Panther, as you know, he is a hard guy to get down. And they're going to give Chavis Jackson a break here. Stepping in for Jackson is going to be number 24, Carl Williams. And your Firebirds are going to have to generate a pass rush. Case drops back. He's going to look and throw it deep. Pass is incomplete, and we've got a flag coming from the line judge, and you had an official right there, so it's going to be an interesting call because that official should have had it, but the line judge is the one that called it from 20 yards away. And that is an interesting call as they're going to call pass interference on your Firebirds, and that penalty came from 20 yards away. The official showing his athletic ability, throwing a flag over 20 yards. Case once again under center. He drops back. He's got some pressure. They try to do a shovel pass to the fullback, Aaron Wheeler, and it's met by the interior of that Firebirds defensive line. If you watch the replay here, Case drops back. Wheeler just a quick underneath and is met immediately by the Jack linebacker, number 44, Anthony Brooks, and he allows the rest of the Firebirds defense to come in and make a big play. Second down and 11. Well, second and goal with 5:57 to go in the half. Case drops back. He waits. He's under no pressure. He's got all day. He's dancing and looking. He's looking. He's going to throw it back to Aaron Wheeler. Wheeler makes a move. And John Harris lays a block out for Aaron Wheeler. Aaron Wheeler picks up big yardage and gets it inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Clock continuing to run, 5:28 to go. And Aaron Wheeler, Big A as they used to call him, gets really close for a touchdown. Case once again under center. Here comes the motion. Here's the snap. Case drops back, waits. He's looking for John Harris, finds him into the end zone, touchdown. On the coverage was Roman Morrow. Morrow once again trying to step under the route, couldn't quite get there. And it goes in for a touchdown. Your score, 34-0 in favor of the Lions. We'd like to thank once again everyone for tuning into the broadcast. As again, we do apologize about the technical difficulties as we are working to resolve those with the Event Center staff. PAT attempts by the Lions is up, and it looks good. And it is good. Your new score, Columbus leads it 35-0. We're going to take a quick timeout as you're enjoying Firebirds football on the Firebirds Digital Network. And welcome back to the Columbus Civic Center as your Georgia Firebirds trail with 4:24 to go in the half. And back deep is going to be for the Firebirds I can't make out the number, but it does look like Golston. And that one looks like it is. They're going to say it's a touchback. It doesn't go through the goalpost. So it's now the Firebirds football, 1st and 10. Should spot the ball on the 20-yard line. One of the first breaks the Firebirds have had this entire game. Well, one of the second, other than that early fumble where the defense got a stop. But right now, your Firebirds trail 35. Still got some opportunities to get back in this game. Arena football is a fast-paced game. Brooks once again under center. High motion man is going to be Frost coming into circle motion into a trips formation. Here's a snap. They give it to the fullback. Fullback makes the move and is going to pick up 5 yards on the play. A great run by Ontario Martin as he saw an opening as they're counting on that MAC linebacker shooting quickly, so they're going to try to counter that by giving it to the fullback in the other A-gap. Brooks once again under center. He's going to have to hurry. 9 seconds on the play clock. Frost, the high motion man. Here's the snap. Brooks looks, and the ball is batted down. Incomplete. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Firebirds. And it looks like Golston and Roshan Marshall were having a few words. It is now 3rd down for your Firebirds. We need to hurry as 5 on the play clock. We need to hurry and get this play off. And we do. Here's the snap. Quick throw out to Jupiter. Jupiter makes the reception, and that looks good enough for a 1st down for your Firebirds. 1st down and 10. The officials give it to us. And now the Firebirds are into, if you watch the replay here, as Jupiter makes the reception and the Firebirds are finally into Lion territory. High motion man is Frost. And Brooks drops the football once again, and it's recovered by Larry Edwards for the Columbus Lions. And a good drive goes for naught as we've got 2:03 to go in the 2nd quarter. The score right now, 35-0. The Lions lead this one. And right now, the defense, which has carried this team thus far, is going to have to try to carry them once again. And maybe we can get a pick 6 and go the other way. We'll wait and see as Case once again under center. High motion man looks to be John Harris. Here's the snap. Case drops back. He's under some duress. He gets the play off, and it's for John Harris. And oh my, he underthrew his receiver, and Calvin Harris Jr., had he had his head around, would have had an easy INT. Watch the replay here as Case drops back. Looks, he throws for John Harris. He was under a little bit of pressure, but he underthrows the pass. And right there, Calvin Harris Jr. almost with the interception and a big play for your Firebirds. Case once again under center. Circle motion for the Lions. Case drops back. He's under some duress. He throws. Pass is incomplete as Harris does a great job against number 18 for the Lions. That's Michael Reeve. And now that's going to bring up on that incompletion a third down for the Lions. And with that being said, we're down to the 1 minute warning with 56 seconds to go. We're going to take a quick break as you're enjoying Arena AIF football on the Georgia Firebirds digital network. Welcome back to the Columbus Civic Center as Case once again under center for the Lions. High motion man for Columbus. Case drops back, throws. He's got John Harris, but just a little too tall as they're trying to take advantage of that Firebirds press coverage and trying to go for the deep ball. If you watch the replay here, Case drops back. He's looking downfield. He has Harris, but he puts the ball only where his guy can catch it. And it was just a little too tall, incomplete, bringing up a fourth down for the Lions. Case once again with motion, drops back, waits, looks, throws. Pass is too tall, intended for number 6. That was Jermaine Fordson, incomplete. Looks like it's a turnover, and your Panthers will, and your Firebirds will get the football with 42 seconds remaining in the half in great field position. You watch the replay, the ball sailed on him. It goes incomplete, but still, it's one of those fortunate breaks for your Firebirds, and let's hope we can take advantage here and score and cut into this Lions lead because we get the ball to start the second half. Like to thank all the fans who are tuning in, and once again, I apologize for the technical difficulties as we are still working with the staff here in Columbus to get those issues resolved. Brooks drops back, waits, looks, throws. He's under pressure. It's going to be intercepted, and we've got a flag as the jack linebacker for the Lions, and that was Zach Vendabitsky with the interception, but we've got a flag, and I think we're going to get a call against the Lions. I think they're going to rule an illegal defense. If we can go back and run that replay one more time, I think we can see what went on. And it's going to be an illegal defense on the Lions, and a fortunate break for your Firebirds. And it's going to give the Firebirds a 1st and 5 with 30 seconds to go in the half. One of the rules, as we had the tight end to declare, Brooks once again under center. High motion man is Frost. Brooks drops back, throws, passes complete to the screen. It's going to be to Golston. Golston is going to be brought down inside the 15, and the Firebirds need to take a timeout here. I'm wondering, why was that clock running for so long? The clock is down to 9 seconds. The clock is down to 9 seconds, and I can't believe that this play took this long to fall in. And it's going to be a situation now. The Firebirds, hopefully we can get a score here and cut into that Lions lead as we get the football to start the second half, and we can try to make a move here, as this has been the best drive so far this season. Well, so far in this contest by the Birds. Brooks once again going to come under center. High motion man is going to be Frost. Here's the snap. Brooks drops back. He's under some duress immediately. He eludes it. He looks. He's going to make a play. Throws it in the back of the end zone. And it was tipped by a fan. They're going to say incomplete. Fan interference. Another tough break for the Firebirds. And Coach Daniels right now is livid. But they're going to put some additional time on the clock. But they're going to rule halftime. A tough break for the Firebirds as they had opportunities. And it's one of those games right now where you chalk this one up to maybe a little bit of a learning experience as we are enjoying Firebird football on the Firebirds Digital Network. And right now, joining us here at halftime is the general manager and managing partner of your Georgia Firebirds, Terrence Fowler. How's it going, Terrence?
Hey, how you doing, E? It's been a long half, to say the least. A big learning curve for us, but yeah. We're learning.
And I agree. I looked at on tape, and we looked at this. We looked at it before. We talked about some things, and we knew that our offensive line was going to have to get a lot better. They were going to have to grow up in this game.
Yes. That's exactly what it is. Our offensive line, we only have one offensive lineman with the experience. Again, we wanted to try our best to breed athletes from Albany and Southwest Georgia on our front line and our team as a whole. And so, again, it's just a learning curve. DeAndre Williams is the one that has the experience, and OJ and Quentin Todd don't have any past experience, but I'm pretty sure with a little work, they're going to get a lot better.
And I saw a marked improvement from the first possession up until now, as the protection has gotten better. It's still not quite there, but they're still learning each other. And like I said, we still got a second half to go.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to fill each other out right now. How the schedule is set up in the beginning and the time for us to cut down and be able to fuse together and practice together, it was very, very short. this year, but we have to do it on the go. We have to learn how to fight with each other, not against each other, but fight with each other against everybody else on the field. So that's what we have to worry about. They're making adjustments here and there. 90% of our team has no experience, so it's something new to them, and they're making the adjustments here and there. So we're going to see what adjustments Coach could come up with at half and hopefully come back out here and get some things going.
Now, we haven't talked about it, but this is what I wanted to lead into when you came up, was next week the first ever home game, regular season home game for the Georgia Firebirds in the Albany James H. Gray Civic Center.
Yeah, we're super excited about that. Waiting for the city of Albany and Southwest Georgia to come out. It's going to be a spectacular show. We expect the house to be packed out. We ask everybody to wear black if you can. Let's start this thing off right. We're going to black it out the first game of the season at home. We're excited, to come back to the house and put on a show for our fans. And trust me, regardless of the outcome of this game, we will be better next week.
I looked up and down the roster, and the thing I knew that was going to be great was going to be the receiving core. And when they've gotten the ball, they haven't disappointed.
Yeah, we have one of the best receiving cores. It is, led by Isaiah Jupiter, number 0, Agent 0. He's spectacular. Valdosta State standout. We have Rashad Goldsman from the national championship Florida State Seminoles team. We have Antoine Frost, and we have Trayvon Badger. I mean, we have a great receiving core. Once they get their hands on the ball, they are able to make plays. They are able to move around. They're going to make some people miss. So look for them to touch the ball a lot more in the second half, and we're going to make them miss. Their secondary for the Columbus Lions is not really holding them up too much, but they don't have to because they have a big rush, so they can be lackadaisical in the secondary, but we'll make them pay for it in the second half.
And, we knew another thing coming into this game, the Columbus Lions secondary, led by the all-time greatest in Hall of Fame, Damian Daniels, was going to be back there, so we knew that was going to be a test secondary-wise. I'd love to see our receivers against their DBs in like 7-on-7 competition.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be a great competition if you put their secondary up against our receivers in a 7-on-7 type situation. And hopefully we can start tossing the ball around, getting a lot more action in the secondary with our receivers, our line and our quarterback and our fullback get a little more continuity in the backfield, and give Marcus and Therese an opportunity to deliver balls. When they get the time, they're going to strike. They're going to strike often, and they're going to strike real fast. So I'm looking forward to Coach Daniels and the coaching staff making an adjustment so we'll be able to showcase our receivers.
And Rashad Goldston, so far, 3 catches for 24 yards. His longest catch was for 11 yards. And I'm excited to see him. And like I said, Agent 0 had 2 catches for 8 yards. They're the only 2 Firebirds receivers that had receptions so far in this game. And I said in the pregame, these were 2 guys we were going to have to watch, that they were going to have targets painted on their back.
Yes, they definitely have targets painted on their backs. I think the whole league understands the caliber of receivers that we have in Isaiah Jupiter and Rashad Goldston. Not to downplay any of our other receivers, but, you have to have those players that people fear. And those are players that we want teams to fear. And rightfully so, because they're explosive receivers and they can get out of the blocks real fast on you.
The other thing we talked about, and realistically I'm excited for, I think our secondary has bowled well today. They've had a couple of breakdowns, but they bounced right back. And in arena football, and fans who don't know, you're going to give up. You're going to get beat in arena football.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
But it's how you bounce back after you get beat.
That's it.
That's going to be the big question.
Yeah, and I don't give my guys any excuses, but I do want to note that 14 of these 35 points that they have come due to the conditions, and I'll just leave it at that. They're not necessarily the best right now, and our players aren't used to that, and I'm not making any excuses for them because the other 21 points were,
Yeah.
They earned those. But the 2 touchdown plays that they gave up on, if you saw and if you know replay playback on the games, you'll see our defenders were there both times. And if you look at it, you can see that their footing was impeded by the field conditions.
And I'll put this out there, but I was down on the field earlier in pregame, and we made a note because this is also a hockey arena, and they have a hockey game on Tuesday, and there's actually ice underneath this turf.
Yes.
And there are a lot of soft spots because what they did, they put some plastic boards over the ice, and it generates a lot of soft spots. And unless you practiced on this field and know where those soft spots are, you're going to be in for it. It's just like when you walk into the Boston Garden to play the Boston Celtics on that parquet floor, and there's some loose boards on that parquet floor.
Right.
And the Celtics know where they are, but the opposing teams don't.
They don't. And that's something that we tried to push to our players before the game, is that make sure you watch your footing. It's really no way. It's multiple places, and I mean it abundantly. It's not just a place here, a place there, for the most part. And it's no fault of the Lions organization as a whole. Coach Jason, spoke with me about it before the game. So that's something that they're not pleased with also. So it's biting us in the behind right now, so to speak. So, their players can, know how to adjust to it a little bit more. It's a little uncomfortable for both sides. But, again, I won't make any excuses for our Firebirds team. They got to pick up play. They got to play with more energy. They got to play with more continuity. They got to hit harder. I think we've had some good plays in the first half for the most part. But we definitely have to have more. As many plays as they had in the first half, we can have in the second half. And that's how this game goes.
One of the guys I have really been impressed with, and that's going to have to be our Mac linebacker. And he's been there making plays for the Firebirds. And I've seen him everywhere, all over the field.
Yeah, we're talking about Zach the Hitman Brown, man. Zach is an athlete. He knows this game. He knows the game of football. He's on 100 all the time. He goes from 0 to 100. I don't think you ever have a situation where you'll see Zach Brown on the field and he's not going at 100 miles per hour. And again, all we got to do is get one other person to, and I think we're making those adjustments. But if we pull a little bit of the attention away from Zach, then he'll get back there and make some plays. And he'll get some plays in the secondary. I think Coach is gonna, try to switch it up and give him some other looks. And Zach in the secondary on coverage it's a great thing to see.
And it has been, you don't necessarily in indoor football see the Mac linebacker dropping in coverage a lot, but we have seen that today, and he looks good and comfortable. His fluid moves. And he turns and opens his hips very well.
Yes, he opens up very well, man. He's a student of the game, and he will hit you. Hence the name, the Hitman. So he is that guy to hit, and I think in this second half you'll see him open up and really get to it. They're going to go back in the locker room, and they're getting their bearings together and their thoughts together, making the adjustments. And I do believe this half we're going to see some points being put up on the board.
All right, we're about 5 minutes away from the second half. We're going to take a pause for the calls, and we'll be back for the second stanza to see your Georgia Firebirds come back and possibly knock off the Columbus Lions. You guys stick and stay. You're enjoying indoor football on the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back to Columbus, Georgia. We are live here at the Columbus Civic Center. A tough first half, a hard pill to swallow for your Georgia Firebirds as they trail the Lions by almost a half dozen touchdowns. But remember, this is arena football. It is not over yet. I've seen games where in the final minute of the game, 60 points have been scored. I'm excited here as the Firebirds' first ever road contest, even though it has not been as successful as you would want it to be. It has been a good test of wills here as your Firebirds are working on some things, and you've seen, if you watch the game so far, marked improvement from the opening kick to just before halftime. As we are about ready to begin the second half, and I'd like to thank all the fans who have been tuning in to the broadcast, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. And once again, I'd like to apologize for the technical difficulties as the event staff here in Columbus has been helpful in trying to secure us additional bandwidth to resolve our issue. And once again, I'd like to thank all of the Firebird sponsors as we are getting set to start the second half. The Columbus Lions are set to kick off, and back deep for your Firebirds is going to be Frost. Frost lets the ball hit the wall. That's live. He's going to take it in the end zone. He's got to get it out of the end zone. He makes a move. Does he get out of the end zone? The officials are conferring, and the rule is and Coach Daniels, once again, not a happy camper as the Firebirds could not get the ball out of the end zone. It should be spotted on the 2-yard line. There was an attempt made to get it out of the end zone. The officials look like they're going to spot it on the 5. That's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Firebirds. We'll take it. And let's just hope that now they've found some answers to get on the scoreboard and strike early and often. Brooks, once again at quarterback, calling out the signals. Frost, the high motion man. Here's the snap. There's a fumble on the play. He tried to give it to the fullback, and he does. Dontario Martin on the carry. He loses a yard, bringing up a 2nd down and 11 for your Firebirds. .14:09 to go in the 3rd quarter. Brooks once again under center. High motion man once again. Looks like it's going to be Frost. Here's the snap. There's a fumble on the play. And Larry Edwards, Johnny on the spot, recovers it. As we are having some problems with that quarterback to center exchange. And the officials are conferring, but it is Lions football nonetheless on the 4-yard line. Another tough break for the Firebirds as they're going to have to hurry to get on the field. The officials should stop play as there was a change of possession, and they do. Case, it's the snap. They're going to do a reverse, and they're going to throw it, and it was tipped. It looked like it was tipped. If we can take a look at the replay, you see here Case is going to fake it and then toss it back out to the back. He's going to roll and try a shuffle pass. It wasn't tipped. It was just a bad throw. Fortson for the Lions tried to strong-arm it into the end zone with a little razzle-dazzle as the Lions reach deep in their bag of tricks as they lead 37-0. Case once again under center. Here's the snap. And we're going to probably have a false start on the Lions. I think they're going to flag Michael Reed. I stand corrected. They are going to fault Jermon Fortson for moving a little early. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Ball goes back out to the 9-yard line. Case once again under center. High motion man is Reed. Case drops back. He's under some duress. He throws it over the top, and we're going to get a flag for a pass interference in the end zone as number 8, Antonio Bearden, for your Firebirds, was beaten a little bit on the play. And so in arena football, what you do is if you're beaten, just go ahead and don't give up the touchdown because you can live to fight another day. High motion man looks to be Reed. Case under center. Here's the snap. Case dropped back. He's under some duress. Throws it over the top. Intended for Fortson. Falls incomplete. Defending on the play was Carl Williams. If you watch the replay, you'll see Case drop back. He had nowhere to go. His first option was taken. And Fortson was covered well as we're back to live action. Here's the snap. Case drops back, waits, looks. He's got some trouble. He's got all day to throw. They're going to throw it back to big Aaron Wheeler. And it looks like a touchdown, and we've got some fisticuffs going. And there we go with the flags. And John Harris getting into it with one of the Firebirds, and now Fortson having some words to say, and the officials had to pull him off. So we're going to let the officials sort this out as we've got multiple flags, but it happened after the touchdown. And what you're seeing is just a little bit of frustration on both teams, as both teams really want to show up and show out. And that's been happening, but we're going to wait. So with that said, it looks like there's a touchdown, but there's a timeout, and the Firebirds are going to take a timeout. This will be their first timeout of the half, but it's going to be interesting as Coach Daniels wanted a little bit of an explanation, as there were more players involved in that than just the 2 that were flagged. That was the original call, and Coach Daniels is asking the referee for an explanation. And he, like I said, he's not a happy camper, but right now, the score now, the Lions lead the Firebirds by a half dozen touchdowns, as Coach Daniels is asking for some explanations. .11:40 to go in the third quarter. We've still got plenty of time on this special Sunday afternoon matinee. On to attempt the PAT is going to be number 24. Here's the snap, the place down, the kicks up. It looks good, and it is good. Your new score, Columbus leads it 44-0. We're going to take a timeout as you're enjoying indoor football on the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back to the Columbus Civic Center as your Firebirds are having a bad day as they trail 44-0 with 11:30 to go. Here's the kickoff by the Lions, high end over end. It's going to be taken by Golson. Golson comes out of the end zone, and he's not going to get past the 5-yard line. Going to be brought down about the 2. First down and 10 for the Firebirds, and this is kind of the danger zone. That offense has given up a couple of safeties as you watch the return here. Golson kind of hesitated there, and he's brought down in indoor football. You cannot hesitate. You've got to explode through those holes. But that's one thing you learn with experience, and he's come from Florida State, and that's a football town. That's a football machine. With 11:14 to go, Brooks once again coming under center. Play clock down to 8. High motion man looks to be Frost. Here's the snap. Brooks drops back. He's under some duress and throws it away. Pass is incomplete. We're waiting to see if the official is going to rule it a safety, and he is. Watch the replay here as Golson is going to take the snap. And right there, the nose tackle is right there to make a play. And it's a tough break for your Firebirds as they give up another safety. So right now, the score is extended. Columbus leads 46-0 over your Firebirds. And now we're getting set as the Firebirds have to kick the ball off to the Lions. Right now, if I were Coach Daniels, you have nothing to lose here. I would possibly try an onside kick. It's one of those things you need to work on some things right now, see what works, what doesn't. Possibly take a look and evaluate some of your, some personnel and look to possibly make a roster move or two. And back deep for the Lions looks to be Fortson, as it looks like the Lions might be expecting a little bit of an onside kick. Let's see what Chad Spencer's going to do for your Firebirds. Here's the run-up. The kick, he's going to kick it straight away. Back deep is Fortson. Fortson takes it. He's out to the 5. He explodes and is going to be brought down, tripped up. There's a fumble on the play. And they're going to rule him down. First down for the Lions as we watch the return. Fortson comes out. He's going to try to make a move, and he gets tripped up. Ball looks like it comes out. The ball is out clearly before he hits the ground. But unfortunate for the Firebirds, the Lions get possession. First down and 10 for the Lions. Spot the ball right now on their 13-yard line. 10:32 remaining. Case takes a snap, drops back. He's got a man wide open down the field. He lets it go. He's under some duress. He looks, takes a shot, and the ball is going to be caught. And going into the end zone is going to be Fortson. As Fortson made a move and somebody lost him in coverage, he was wide open. If you watch here, no one was within 8 yards of him. The closest man was going to be number 9, Calvin Harris Jr., who tried to make the play, but it was too little, too late. Your new score, Columbus 52, Georgia 0, as the Lions are on to attempt the PAT. The extra point by McMahon is up and good. Your new score, Columbus 53, Georgia 0. We're going to take a quick timeout as you're enjoying indoor arena football on the Georgia Firebirds Digital Network. And we're back as we've got flags, and I do apologize as we're working through some technical difficulties with the venue. And we've got flags as the kickoff. There was some major head busting, what we call a head bust, and we've got a Firebird down on the field. And we're going to take an injury timeout as you're enjoying football, indoor football, on the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back to Columbus, Georgia, as we had an injury as Agent Zero, Isaiah Jupiter, goes out. It looked like he might have had an ankle or a knee. He could not leave the field on his own power, so let's just hope that young man is okay and it's just a sprain and he'll be back with the Firebirds. Brooks once again under center. High motion man is going to be Frost, coming into circle motion into a trips formation. Here's the snap. Quick screen goes out. Looks like to Golson, and he's going to be dropped, and it looked like a little bit of extracurricular there, but the officials were on top of it to break it up. 8:55 to go in the third quarter, and once again, I'd like to thank all of the people for tuning in to the broadcast, and again, we apologize about the technical difficulties. I think some of it has been alleviated, but they are continuing to work on the issue for us. Brooks once again under center. The trips formation. Here's the snap, and there's a fumble on the play. Scramble for the football. The Lions say they have it. And the officials are sorting through the pile to see who has possession, and the Lions offense is already coming out on the field. The officials are signaling for a stoppage in play as they're still trying to sort it, and they're going to say Lions football. And we'll watch the replay here and see what happens as that quarterback center exchange has not been clean most of this ball game. And it's just been it's one of those days. And we still hope that Agent Zero will be okay, as he is one of the major cogs in this Firebirds team. I'd like to express a sincere thank you to all of the Firebirds fans for tuning in. I'd also like to thank all of the Firebird sponsors, from Pepsi, Buffalo Rock Pepsi, to the Albany Fish Company, to Two Commas, to everybody who has been a sponsor. And it's just there are just too many to name right now. And I want to thank everybody for making this team and this dream a reality, as Albany desperately wanted to see indoor football return, and we've got it for you, fans. And I don't want to forget, I want to remind you that coming up next Saturday, first ever regular season home game for your Georgia Firebirds, and I'm excited. I don't know about you, but also that game is going to be broadcast over the air on Rock 103. Case under center. High motion man is John Harris. Here's the snap. Case drops back. He's going to throw it over the middle. Pass is going to be complete to the tight end, as he's going to take it in for a touchdown. And your new score, Columbus, as we watch the replay here, Case is going to drop back and catch it as he slips right up underneath the coverage, underneath number 24 for the Firebirds, Carl Williams, and makes the play. Here's the extra point attempt. It's up. It looks good, and it is good. Your new score was 7:17 to go. The Lions lead 60-0 against your Firebirds. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back on the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back to Columbus, Georgia, as your Panthers trail. But the good news is they will get the football back. Back deep to receive for the Panthers is going to be number 3, Antoine Frost. And let's just see if we can break one here for a touchdown. Here's the run up in the kick. High end over end. Could it be? It goes back into the back of the end zone for a touchback. Does not go through the goalpost. Ball will come out to the 20-yard line. First down and 10 for your Firebirds. The biggest question, and that's going to be going into next week, is, that quarterback center exchange. They've got to work on that some, because this has been a problem all game long, and I'm pretty sure that Coach Daniels is going to work that issue until it gets resolved. Coach Daniels is one of those guys off the field. He's a player's coach, but when he steps in between those dasher boards, he is a taskmaster. And he is not a happy camper right now, as the play clock is down to 7. Brooks calling for high motion. Frost coming into a trips formation. Here's the snap, and there's another fumble on the play, and Brooks comes up with it. Fortunately, your Firebirds recover. Unfortunately, it's a loss of 2 on the play, bringing up a 2nd and 12 with 6:37 clock continuing to run in the third quarter. If you watch right here, the exchange has not been clean at all. So I don't know if it's the center short-arming the snap, and I can't really tell from the replay, or is it the quarterback pulling out too soon? And it looks like Agent Zero is back in the game. Play clock down to 1. They just do get it off, and he's under some duress. He escapes. He looks. He throws downfield. Pass is complete. Looks like it's to Agent Zero, but we've got flags back in the backfield of the Firebirds, and I think it's going to be along the lines of a hold, and that's what they're going to call. Well, they're going to call a push in the back, which negates a great play by the Firebirds. Brooks, who's been under duress all game long, has got to find a way to get this ball in the end zone. High motion man's going to be Frost. Brooks once again under center, calling out the signals. Here comes the high motion man, Frost. And it's snapped. Brooks is under immediate pressure, and he's going to go down, but they're going to spot the ball at about the 2-yard line, and that was another kind of push in the back, but it was not called by the officials. And that defense is just flying all over the football. And you notice that push in the back. And in college football, that might be a reason for an ejection this year. Some of the rule changes in the NCAA are forcing, are enforcing player safety. 4:42, clock continuing to run. Firebirds, third down, ball at their own 2-yard line. Here's the snap. They're going to give it to the fullback, and he's going to be stopped. He does cross the goal line. Ball is going to be spotted on the 1. It's going to bring up a 4th down, and Coach Daniels is calling for the field goal unit. As we watch here, he just does get across the goal line to prevent the safety. And now your Firebirds are going to be attempting a 62-yard field goal is what the PA announcer is announcing. But that looks to me like about a 66-yard field goal. And the Firebirds use their second timeout. That only leaves them with 1. And Columbus still has all 3 of their timeouts. But Georgia is down, the Firebirds are down to 1. It's sort of been a long day and a perfect storm of mistakes by the Firebirds today, resulting in this game and resulting in the score of this game. We've still got about 18 minutes and 47 seconds to play in this contest. And the Firebirds have dug themselves into a deep hole. As this looks to me like about a 66-yard field goal. And Spencer, let's see if he's got the leg to put it up there. Here's the snap, the place down, the kick is up. Looked like it was partially blocked. It's going to take a bounce, a Lions bounce, and it's going to be picked up by Fortson. Fortson weaving his way to the 20, to the 15, and it's going to be brought down by Darren Lake. And we've got a player down on the play, another Firebird down. And you really hate to see that, as we've got a stoppage in play with 3:33. We're going to take a quick break. As you see, that play was kind of brutal. We're going to take a timeout, and hopefully this young man will be okay as you're enjoying football on the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back. As you're seeing right here, we're going to back this play up just a little bit and show you exactly what happened. And that was number 38, Ontario Martin. And that's one of those things. When you play this game, it's a violent game. And he is actually up right now, but he was knocked out. It took a helmet-to-helmet shot. If you watch the replay right here, he does not want to be carted off, but watch right here coming into your screen, right there. Back it up a little bit. All right, right at the top of your screen, about the 18-yard line. Watch again right here. It's a helmet-to-helmet contact, and he's probably concussed right there. It was if this was the NFL or if this was the NCAA, that would have been a targeting and an automatic ejection. But we'll keep it going here, and that's a tough break for your Firebirds. As we go back, we're going to watch this one more time, but we're going to get ready to go back to live action in just a second. And watch right here, once again, he's looking at the play, and he gets totally blindsided. And that was number 60 for the Lions as we come back to live action. That was number 50, Shanquez Nelson. As Case once again is under center. Here's the snap. Case drops back, waits, looks. He's going to throw it over the top. Passes into the end zone, complete to number 19. But we've got a flag, and it's going to come. It might come back. It is going to come back. No touchdown. So the Firebirds dodge a bullet there. So that's going to be a 10-yard penalty. The positive thing for the Firebirds, it takes points off the scoreboard for the Lions. 3:09, clock continuing to run. Now ball spotted back into Lion territory. As your Firebirds now have an opportunity here as it's first, and they're going to have to get to downtown Tifton for a first down. Here's the snap. Case drops back, waits, looks. He's under a little bit of duress. He escapes. He's going to make a move. He's out of the pocket, so the jack rule does not apply anymore. Intercepted! Intercepted! And it's return number 1. Who is that man for the Firebirds? Zach Brown. We've talked about him all game long. We're going to watch it again. He comes up with it. They say no catch. Nobody touches him as we watch Case here. He's under all kinds of duress. He sidearms it. Pass was batted down. Aaron, nobody touches him. A horrible officiating call there. I apologize. I don't mean to bash the officials, but no one touched him, but they rule him down. Wow. That's college football. He ran into the boards, but no one touched him. I understand, but no one touched him, so it should have been play continues. Play clock down to 2. There's another issue with the football. Ball on the ground again. And the Lions recover. And the Lions get another turnover. And another bad break for the Firebirds as that defense once again is going to be called to save the day. We knew that the Lions were a good team this year, and we knew it would be a good measuring stick to see how we fared against them. Zach Brown has had a stellar game. He's had an interception. He's had big plays. He's had a sack. He's had forced fumbles. Case drops back, throws the screen pass. It's complete and knocked out of bounds. And that was Michael Reeve with the reception. And it's going to be knocked out of bounds. Gain of about 5 on the play. Second down, and the Lions are quick to get to the line of scrimmage. They want to try to get a score with 1:27 remaining in the contest. Here's a snap. Case drops back. He looks. He throws. He finds John Harris. John Harris had a little trouble holding on, but he does hold on. Mason Espinoza has checked into the game for the Lions at quarterback. Espinoza under center. High motion man is Reeves. Here's a snap. Espinoza drops back. He's going to throw the screen. It's complete. The ball is going to be spotted at the 5. That's going to bring up a second down and about 5 with 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Lions are in hurry-up mode. And we've got a stoppage in play. As Chavis Jackson has to check out of the ball game. And he's going to be replaced by Carl Williams. Carl Williams, who went out earlier, is now back in the lineup, which is great to see as these injured Firebird players are coming back. Because you hate to see anyone get injured. You know, we know this is football, and there are going to be some bumps and bruises along the road, but you don't want to see anything that's going to be life-threatening or career-ending. Espinoza drops back, waits, throws. They got the screen. Does he get in? Harris does not get in, but he gets close to the first down. They're going to give him the first down, spot the ball, first and goal for the Lions. And that'll do it for the third stanza as your Firebirds trail the Lions by 6-10s. We're going to take a timeout as you're enjoying indoor football on the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back to the Columbus Civic Center as your Georgia Firebirds trail by 5 dozen by a score of 60-0. Looking at the third quarter stats, the one eye-popping stat as Espinoza is in at quarterback for the Lions. He's going to give it to the big fullback, Big A, and the Lions say he's in, but the officials, they're the ones whose opinion matters, said he's not. So now it's second down and goal. Give him a half yard on the play. But the eye-popping stat that I have for the Firebirds is they only have one first down the entire ball game. Espinoza once again calling out the signals. Here's the snap. They're going to give it to Big A. Big A is just powering over and gets in for the touchdown. Robert Aaron takes it in for the touchdown for the Lions, extending their lead 66-0. 14:10 remaining and clock continuing to run. And it's been an interesting contest so far, to say the least. But we knew coming into this game it was going to be a little bit of a learning curve for a lot of these young guys, and indeed it has. Next week, our first ever home opener, and that ball is partially blocked. The extra point is no good. If you watch the replay here, let's see who gets that block. And here's the snap, placed down by Case. And coming through that looked like number 24. We can back that up a little bit. And then freeze it so we can see who is that got a hand on it. But we'll go back to live action. But that field goal looked like 24 for the Firebirds blocked it. And that was Carl Williams. And so you've got another positive as you see that there is no quit. As we watch this PA attempt, as you see, there's no quit in the Firebirds right now. Checking into the game now for the Firebirds is going to be number 26, Darrell Lake. And here's the kick, high end over end. This one's returnable. Golson takes it at the back of the end zone. Golson's to the 5. He gets to the 10. And is going to be knocked out of bounds. They're going to spot him at about the 12-yard line. And then we've got some more fisticuffs. Larry Edwards is getting into it with the MAC linebacker for the Firebirds, Zach Brown. And those two, I would love to see Zach step in at fullback and take on Larry. But Larry Edwards is also checking out of the game. Larry Edwards, a former Albany Panthers who was one of the cornerstones to that team, winning back-to-back championships. We've got a new quarterback for the Firebirds, and that's Tor Wilkins. Here's the snap. Wilkins drops back, waits, looks, throws. He had a man, but an incompletion. Pass was intended for Chavis Jackson. And coming behind him was number 4. They called him the Nighthawk in Columbus when he was with the Albany Panthers. I called him Mr. Larceny, Damian Daniels. Watch on the replay. Daniels steps in there and breaks up that pass. 12:37 to go. And we've got a new formation now by the Firebirds as they load the gun. Wilkins calling for the high motion man. Frost, here's the snap. Wilkins rolling, drops, throws it, passes complete. We've got a man open, number 23. He to the 25, to the 20, and is going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. Trayvon Bridges with the reception, wide open, and makes a move. And this might have been one of the adjustments Coach Daniels has made to eliminate some of that pass rush, is to go to a shotgun formation, and so far that seems to be working. 11:50 to go in the ball game. Wilkins once again in the gun. Here's the snap. Wilkins drops back. He's under some pressure. Throws. Passes incomplete. Tipped at the line of scrimmage by number 13. And that was Joseph Marshall, one of those interior linemen for the Lions. Fortunately, falls incomplete. 11:16, clock continuing to run. Once again, I'd like to thank all of the people who are tuning into the broadcast, and I want to once again apologize for the technical difficulties. And we have been working with the Columbus Event Center staff. We've got to hurry up and get the play clock. Clock is down to 4. Wilkins. And we're going to have a false start on the Firebirds, as the play clock was down to 2. And Wilkins kind of shows his inexperience. Terez Wilkins kind of shows his inexperience at quarterback, not keeping an eye on the play clock. as the clock is still running at 10:32 and counting. The Firebirds trail by a little over 6 dozen points, 66-0. Firebirds down to their final timeout. The Lions still have all three. Wilkins takes the snap, drops back. He's under some duress. He's going to fade to the left. He gets a block. He gets another block. He's going to pause, and in this league, you cannot pause. And that's going to be a sack by number 13. As you watch this play, it was a Barry Sanders-esque run as he ran about 50 yards and lost a couple on the play. Here, you have to make a decision, either throw it or run it, and he was indecisive. He tried to pull it back in, and by that time, the defense closed in on him. And that brings up a 3rd down and long. So here we go. And we've got a flag as the play clock has expired. It's going to be a delay of game against the Firebirds. Here we go with 8:44, clock continuing to run. Wilkins in the gun. The ball's on the ground, and it looks like the Lions have recovered. And they're still scuffling over the football, but the officials say Columbus football, and it was recovered for the Lions by number 25. Ron Fuhrer, and those of you who are SIAC aficionado know that he's a former Fort Valley great, an All-American linebacker out of Fort Valley who made his home here in Columbus, Georgia, and has returned to be a local hometown hero. And we watched the ball hits the fullback on the replay here, and it's out there loose. A tough break for your Firebirds. It looked like they finally found something to negate that Lions pass rush, and it sort of backfires on them. 8:32 remaining in the contest, 66-0 your score. And once again, fans, I appreciate you guys sticking with us through the technical difficulties. And I appreciate you tuning in to the contest. And this was a great turnout for what really was almost an impromptu decision to give the fans an extra thrill. Espinoza drops back, finds his receiver in the end zone, and he goes in for the touchdown. And Michael Reeves, makes the reception for a Lions touchdown. As you watch Espinoza drop back, he throws, he finds his guy wide open. He makes a move, no chance to get him. Touchdown Lions. 7:40 to go in the contest. And here's the PAT attempt, and that one was tipped. And the officials are going to blow the whistle. That ball was tipped. And the kick was up and good. Your new score with 7:28 remaining, Columbus 73, Georgia 0. We're going to take a quick timeout as you're enjoying indoor football on the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back as the kick goes high, end over end. It goes into the netting. Not returnable. Ball will come out to the 20-yard line, if I'm not mistaken. This is the first year both the Firebirds and the Lions have been in the AIF, and we are appreciative to this league for allowing this rivalry to continue. 6:55 to go in the contest, clock continuing to run. Wilkins loads the gun. High motion man is Agent Zero. Pass for Agent Zero. Little behind him, incomplete. Bringing up a 2nd and 10. 6:30 to go in the contest, clock continuing to run. And we would like to invite everybody to make sure that you come out for the home opener of your Georgia Firebirds. And that's going to be a great ball game, the first ever Georgia Firebirds regular season game in the Albany James H. Gray Civic Center. Wilkins once again loads the gun. Agent Zero as the ball's on the ground again. And it's going to be Lions football. And we watch as on the snap, the ball never gets past the center. $73-0 with 5:50 to go in the contest. .534 clock continuing to run. Espinoza still in at quarterback. Rivers, the high motion man, he's got some pressure. He's going to short arm it and throw it out of bounds. Harris, the intended receiver, the only receiver in the area, but he was covered, nowhere to go with the football. He does the smart thing and gives the fans a souvenir. 5:07 clock continuing to run on a lazy Sunday afternoon in Columbus, Georgia. I hope all the folks back in Albany are enjoying the broadcast. It's been a pleasure bringing it to you, and I'm hoping it's been a pleasure for you enjoying it, but we do apologize once again about the technical issues with 4:47 clock continuing to run. Espinoza once again calling out the signals. Here's the snap. He looks back. He has Reeves open for a second, and then crossing underneath was complete for a touchdown, and that was Jermaine Fortson who gets the touchdown on the crossing route. And it's pretty much academic at this point. You just want to get out of here as you watch the replay as Espinosa drops back, looks downfield, finds his receiver crossing underneath, caught for a touchdown as he catches the Firebirds in that man coverage. And the routes that break up man coverage are crossing routes, and that's what the Lions are known for. Case, the holder, here's the snap, placed down, the kick up. It looks good, and it is good. Your new score, Columbus 80, Georgia 0. We've got 3:45 to go, and the clock's continuing to run. And it's been a really tough day for your Firebirds. But coming into this game, it was one of those things you knew you were going to have to be on your A game to win it. And the Firebirds today weren't on their A game. The biggest thing I saw in the stat package was that the Firebirds have not had a first down in this entire second half. Here's the run up and kick by the Lions, high, end over end. Golson bobbles it in the end zone. He's got to get it out of the end zone. He makes a move, but can't quite get away. And he's going to be brought down at the 2. And it's just going to be one of those things. You've got to find some positive things to take from this football game. So when you look at the film tomorrow morning, you've got to say, all right, here's what we did right, here's what we did wrong. Let's correct our mistakes and go into Saturday's home opener and put up some big numbers and give the fans in Albany something to cheer about. We didn't have a big turnout here in Columbus, as big as we thought there would be, but it's still great to see football back in Southwest Georgia. This time coming under center, it's going to be Wilkins. High motion man is Frost. Wilkins makes a move. He couldn't get away, and he's still on his feet somehow. He loses the football, and it's still going to be a Firebirds football because a tie goes to the offense. And it is still Firebirds football. That play does go for positive yards, so it is a second down and about 7. 1:25 to go in the contest. And the Firebirds really just want to get out of here and lick their wounds and live to fight another day. Wilkins again under center. High motion man is Frost. Here's the snap. Wilkins drops back. He's under duress right off the bat, throws it away. Incomplete, was able to short arm it. Pass intended for Agent Zero. Incomplete, bringing up a 4th down, and we're down to 1 minute to go in the contest. So, all right, we've down to the 1 minute warning, and we've got a media timeout. We're going to step away as you're enjoying indoor football on the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back to the Columbus Civic Center, formerly the Columbus Municipal Auditorium. We've got about 48 seconds to go as we're coming out of the media timeout. Your Firebirds trail the Lions by a sum of 80-0. And the Firebirds right now are playing for pride. And you want to try to do something to have something positive come out of this game. We've had some issues with the quarterback-center exchange, and that's been the tail of this contest. Wilkins under center. High motion man is Frost. Here's the snap. Wilkins drops back, throws the ball to himself. Ball is in the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Lions. I thought he tried to throw the ball out of there, and it should have been an incomplete pass, but the officials say no. We can take a look at the replay and possibly see what happened here. And let's see if we can back that up a little more. And let's see what happened here as you're watching this replay. We're going to come back to live action. We might take a look at that later on, but it's now a touchdown for the Lions, and it's pretty much academic here as the clock is down to 5, 4, 3, 2. And that'll do it here in the Columbus Civic Center. The final score, the Columbus Lions defeat the Georgia Firebirds by a score of 86-0. Eric Tavia bringing you all the play-by-play action, and we hope you enjoyed this contest today. And we're going to say so long and hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and see you next week at the Albany James H. Ray Civic Center. Kickoffs at 7:05 as your Georgia Firebirds take on the Atlanta Vultures. So long and good night, everybody.